Sevda the maid worries in the kitchen that she will now be kicked out. Shefka calms her down. Dyer comes to Ferit. Siren talks about the world and asks his mother isn't she afraid for the baby. Esma says no, since he will have two sisters who are like rocks. Siren says that the rock has turned into sand. Isma says that only an intelligent person experiences fear, and excessive courage comes from stupidity. Mother says Siren says that everything will pass. And as Suna protected her, she will protect her brother. Esma hopes that Kezim will be a good father to his son this time. Siren says she has witnessed how people change. And she cried again, remembering Sanan. Izum had to calm Siren down again. She says that a new life is being born and you need to pull yourself together. Siren wants a girl who looks like her mother to be born. And Emma says she wants a girl just like her. Just as smart. Meanwhile, Dyer was telling Ferit that there was still no news at the police station. Siren and his mother went downstairs. Dyer wished Siren to find this guy as soon as possible. Then Kazim came and asked the ladies not to be sad. He handed Esm a handmade Dubai chocolate. After looking at Ferit and Siren's gaze, Kazim admits that they helped him in the kitchen. Esma tells Kazim to go to the annex and wait. And Ferit is trying to feed Dyer with chocolate. She says she's allergic to pistachios. Suddenly, a colleague calls Dyer. Siren goes out to get some fresh air, and Ferit goes to get tea. After the conversation, Dyer is left alone with Ifoket. The one who asks her, is she naive or smart? Dyer says he doesn't understand the question. Ifoket says that she is very good at pretending that she is not jealous of Siren Ferit. Dyer told Ifoket that she doesn't like such conversation. Ferit returned and asked Dyer if Ifoket had offended her too. Dyer replied that she was not worried. Ferit apologized for forgetting about her allergies. Abidin comes to the mansion. He tells Ifoket that he has come to thank the Lord. Ifoket, standing at the door, does not let Abidin go to Talis. And he threatens to call security. Talis, hearing them, asks Abidin to come in. Talis invites Abidin to sit down, and Ifoket asks him to leave. In front of Talis, Abidin tears up the check. Talis calls him a child and asks him to listen. Abidin claims that he was never a child, as he stole not only his parents but also his childhood. Abidin asks if his conscience tormented him when he saw him every day. Next, Abidin reproaches Chalice for not even giving him the opportunity to study on a budget. You were afraid that after I graduated, I would become an important person, and not a slave at your door, Abidin said. And he added that he was not for him, let alone a master, but even a man. Chalice, angry, slaps Abidin on the cheek. He tells him to leave and not come back until he learns to talk. I won't leave it like this, uncle, Abidin said and left. Chalice calls Ifkat and asks about the check. She explains that it was Abidin who saved the check they gave the first time. Chalice says they won't calm him down with money. After learning that Biddle does not want to sign the contract, Chalice is going to keep this girl in the house until she gives birth. Ifkat comes out upset. Ferit met Abidin in the courtyard. He says that his grandfather's slap still makes his ears ring. And as long as Yalıç doesn't admit to his actions, nothing matters. Abidin says that they only understand the language of money and leaves. Ferit comes to his grandfather and asks if he told Abidin the truth. Yalıç calls Abidin deaf and blind, believing that he needs to calm down first. The grandfather suggests to forget about Abidin and asks Ferit what is going on with Dayar. Ferit replies that he is ready for the wedding. Yalıç asks where is Siren. Ferit says she's in his mind. Because she's been through a hard time and he's thinking about her. Next, Ferit talks about how important Dayar is to him. And what she did is very valuable to him. Ferit says she is in his heart and he cannot upset her. Grandfather reminds Ferit that he has a lot of people in his heart. But if a person is both in his thoughts and in his heart, then he is in the first place. And this is Siren. Ferit admits that he loves Siren, but does not know how much. By voicing the facts, Yalıç opens his grandson's eyes to how strong his love is. Grandfather asks Ferit to make the right decision. And don't repeat his mistakes. And not regret 40 years later what he did to Hadis. Meanwhile, Suna arrives at her aunt's. She says that Yalıç, instead of hugging Abidin, slapped him on the cheek. Suna asks me to fix this. She says her husband is getting more unhappy every day, and she is with him. Suna says that it is the turn of the second niece and asks to arrange the mansion in the name of Abidin. Hadis began to tell Suna that Yalıç was not to blame. And it was Latif who did it his own way. Suna says Yalıç just shrugged off the blame. Auntie says the mansion is no longer hers. Suna asks to talk to Siren. Fakat Beetle declares that he and his mother will receive money and freedom, but the child will stay here. Ferit comes into the room to get a suit. And Siren asks him what will happen next. She tells Ferit that he is satisfied that she is on one side and Dayar is on the other. Ferit asks Siren not to talk nonsense. Ferit further says that it would be great for him, but it is difficult for them. Siren says that if not today, then tomorrow she will leave, since he has decided to marry Dayar. And if I don't get married, Ferit asked her. It's great to be single or something, Siren told him. Is that all? Asked Ferit. That's it, Siren replied. When the table was ready, Hadis went to get Yalıç and Ilyas noticed that the future son-in-law was dressing up for a long time. Dayar says he will go to his room and take a look. Ilyas tells someone else to do it. Dayar goes to the bathroom, and Gülcan said he would call Ferit. Meanwhile, Ferit asks Siren if she will be with him again if he doesn't get married. Siren closed her eyes. Ferit asked to open his eyes and answer will she be with him as before in this room. Gülcan opened the door to the room. She sees that Siren and Ferit are having a juicy moment. Hearing that Dayar is coming, Gülcan carefully closes the door and tells her that Siren is changing there. Judging by Siren's silence, Ferit says that everything is clear to him, and she will not be with him. I'll be Ferit, Siren suddenly said. I'll be with you.